Hello, fellow artists. Mrs. Goodrich here. This is going to be your final project that you're going to complete for art for this school year. This week you are going to go on a scavenger hunt and you are going to find some items and then create sketches out of those items. We are going to take a look at some artists that used everyday items that they would see or landscapes to make their paintings and create their artwork. Claude Monet is an impressionist artist from the late 1800s to the early 1900s that was inspired by his gardens that were around him. He would go outside and use the flowers in his pond as inspiration for his artwork. I'm going to show you a few examples of some of his paintings now, which I'm sure that you've seen before. Here is a close-up view of one of Claude Monet's paintings of water lilies. Van Gogh was also inspired by the different landscapes that were located around where he lived. He also lived in France. Here's another painting that Van Gogh created, inspired by the blue irises that grew around him. Jean Vermeer was a Dutch painter that would paint different items that were around his house. This is a famous still life painting by Paul Cézanne. He was inspired by objects in his house. Andy Warhol was inspired by Campbell's soup cans and other items and people that he saw every day in life. Klaus Oldenburg was a pop art artist that would create sculptures out of everyday items that were around him. This sculpture is called Spoon Bridge with Cherry, and as you can tell by the picture, it is very big. Georgia O'Keeffe was inspired by different bones and flowers that she would collect in the desert. She also loved painting the mountains that she would see. This ceramic vase was actually created by myself. I am inspired by nature and different plants and animals. These plants are Cherokee Indian healing plants. I am part Cherokee Indian, and so I wanted to use these plants in my artwork. So this is something that inspired me that I would see outside. If you're listening to this song in the background, you can see that even musicians are inspired by the world around them. So here are the directions for this scavenger hunt. This week I would like for you to do some exploring. A lot of artists use items that are around them to draw, paint, or sculpt. I like using things that I see in nature for my artwork like I showed you. I like to use plants, animals, and landscapes. Andy Warhol made prints of Campbell's soup cans and Coke bottles. Georgia O'Keeffe painted flowers, animal bones, clouds, mountains that she would see and find in the desert. This week you are going to use items that you find on a scavenger hunt as your inspiration. You will be given 2 lists, one for an indoor scavenger hunt and one for an outdoor scavenger hunt. I would like for you to complete the outdoor scavenger hunt, but if it is raining or you cannot go outside, use the list for the indoor scavenger hunt. You only need to complete one of these hunts. Look for the items on the list. When you find the items, draw a simple sketch next to the item on your iPad if you download the document, or you can use a separate sheet of paper and draw the item. Once you have found all 10 items and have all 10 sketches drawn, then you're going to send me a picture of that and you'll be done with your assignment. I hope you have fun.